Welcome back, everyone. So I know I was taking a break and was kind of hoping to come back and drop off this whole new layout, new format for you guys, kind of as a surprise. But with everything that's been going on, I kind of had to launch everything a little early. And so the only thing left that's changed now is that I got rid of the intro. I know the voice was a little bit annoying, and it just wasn't working out the way I'd hoped. But that's the thing when you're launching projects like this. Sometimes what we start off with just isn't going to land. But hopefully this new format is going to help take Isaiah LXX to that next level. So with all that being said, let's get into this, shall we? Despite all the chaos, I think we've had enough time to let the roots soak in everything we planted so far in our Foundation series. I know the wait has felt like torture, but sometimes we just need to pause and let the water settle before we pour again. So now that the soil has rested and reset, let's begin watering the garden again with our new series, the Ministry Series. In this series, we'll be looking at what Jesus actually taught, and just as importantly, what he didn't teach. Unlike before, we're going to be beginning not with miracles or parables, but this time with a viewer request. A universal mystery that no one really debates. Death. Death is the one reality that remains completely undebated. Something we all will one day face. No matter who we are or what we believe, it doesn't discriminate. Atheists, theists, skeptics, seekers, we all agree. We all will one day die. So the real question is, what happens after we die? Well, that's where the camps start to divide. As Christians, when we believe that when we die, we go to be with Jesus. Atheists say that we feed the worms, become stardust, and cease to exist. Hindus believe that our conscience returns in another form, maybe as a bug, or maybe as a cherry, nose-picker, flatfoot. Don't think too hard on that one. Muslims believe in bodily resurrection and judgment, paradise or punishment. Buddhists teach rebirth, shaped by karma with the goal of escaping the cycle through nirvana. Catholics follow the same as Christianity, but have added purgatory to the mix, a place of purification before heaven. And indigenous traditions speak of the spirit world and ancestral presence. Everyone has a theory, but while beliefs may bring comfort, we're not here for comfort. We're here for truth. Unlike the Starship Enterprise's 5-year mission, death is the ultimate step into the great unknown. After my time in Iraq, I found myself wrestling with this. Not because I feared dying, but because I couldn't understand it. That uncertainty only fed my PTSD as I searched desperately for answers. Science, theology, philosophy, nothing gave me peace. Until I reached a conclusion. No matter what lies beyond, it's a bridge we all must cross. Even if I found out with total proof that a soul-eating monster waited on the other side, knowing that wouldn't make it magically disappear. I'd still have to face it. In light of this revelation, I leaned in the old adage of the old song. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. So as a Christian, what did Jesus actually teach about death? Well, Jesus didn't avoid death. He often spoke about it. He didn't sugarcoat it, but instead walked straight into it. From the very beginning, his ministry carried the shadow of death. John the Baptist was arrested and beheaded in Mark 1:14. Jesus spoke of persecution and martyrdom in Matthew 10:28. And he spoke of his own death, not as defeat, but his destiny in Matthew 16:21. So let's break it down. 1, death is not the end. I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live even though they die. John 11:25. Jesus reframes death, not as a wall, but as a doorway. Not annihilation, but transition. 2. Fear of death is bondage. Do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Matthew 10:28. Jesus teaches that physical death isn't the worst thing. Separation from God is. 3. His own death wasn't the mission. The Son of Man came to give his life as ransom for many. Mark 10:45. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. John 10:18. Jesus wasn't a victim of death. He was its conqueror. He chose the cross, and he turned the grave into a gateway. So why are we starting here when examining Jesus' ministry? Well, because if we don't understand what Jesus taught about death, we'll never truly understand what he taught about life. His ministry wasn't about avoiding suffering, it was about redeeming it. It wasn't about escaping death, it was about defeating it. Before we talk about parables, miracles, or sermons, we need to understand the pulse behind it all. The King who came to die. So if you're still wrestling with death, good. That means you're awake. That means you're asking the right questions. Jesus didn't come to silence those questions. He came to answer them with his own blood. And as we walk through his ministry, we'll see that every teaching, every healing, every confrontation was leading to one moment. A cross, a tomb, and an empty grave. As I said, we all must cross that bridge one day. The only question is, how stable is that bridge? Honestly, I would trust the bridge that was made by the greatest carpenter to ever exist. So what do you think? I'd love to know in the comments below. Of course, we have to fill our quota of like, share, subscribe remarks. But in all sincerity, it really helps out. And it helps get the message out there to those who need to hear it. So next Saturday, we'll be diving into Jesus' life, starting with a very unlikely spot, his early life. We focus so much on the last 3 years of his life, we rarely take a glimpse at the first 30 of him walking among us. So until then, God willing, God bless. Let him who has ears to hear, let us all hear.